A happy wish day, that means good evening. My name is Marva Black Elk, and my sacred name is Wichog Pitro, Blue Star, means light of wisdom. And I'm from the Teton tribe, and I speak the Lakota language fluently. And tonight I'm going to talk about how I met my friend Iktomi Wakola, gentle spider. Well, when I was younger, I was a firekeeper and the doorkeeper for the sweat lodges for my father, Wallace Black Elk, if anybody knows him. And so I used to, for 3 years, I was a firekeeper and a doorkeeper. And being a firekeeper means I just get there before the ceremony starts and clean everything up and get the fire going and pile the rocks up to get ready for the lodge. And then after I carry all the stones into the lodge, and then I get to open the flap when they say mitakoyasin, that means to all my relations, that means open the door. So I do that. So I did that for 3 years, and the whole time I was doing that, there was a spirit named Gentle Spider sitting up on this hill on the west, just the west of us. And he said that he was sitting up there looking down at me working. And I guess he liked the way I worked, so he came into the lodge, and it was broad daylight, and the stone people, the stones were in the pit. There was a lot of mixed people there, white people and all nationalities were in that ceremony. It was so crowded, I didn't go in. I just stayed outside and did the door, but this time they wanted me to come in because there was a spirit that came in. And they want me to come in because he asked for me. So I said, "Are you sure you want me, really?" You know, because I was all excited because I'd never get to go in because it was always so crowded. And me, I'm just a worker, so I had to give everybody a chance to go in and get healed or whatever. And well, anyway, so I went in, I got ready and went in, sat next to my dad's cousin, Charlie Kill's enemy. And he was older, so my dad took second seat to him. So he sat across from on the outside of the doorway, so I got to sit next to my dad's cousin, Charlie. And I looked up, and on the top of the sweat lodge, I don't know how many people go to the sweat lodge here, but on the top of the sweat lodge, there was these little fireworks. It's like little flickers of light. And it's broad daylight, the flap was still up. You can see everybody in the lodge. And my father, Charlie, said something, and when they speak Lakota, I mean, they speak that real, how do you say, a traditional Lakota sacred language. And it's very difficult. It's like trying to probably pronounce or use a $64,000 English word or something, you know. So my dad had to translate to me what Charlie was saying, and the spirit was talking to Charlie. So, well, anyway, it turns out that he said he was sitting there watching me for 3 years on the mountain, and he liked the way I worked. He said he liked the way I take care of everything and take care of people, and when people come, I feed them and all that. Well, that's just natural because that's just the way it was supposed to be, you know. So it wasn't like it was a training or anything, you know. It's just normal for me. I was born that way, and maybe I was trained to do that. I don't know, but maybe I groomed for that job. But anyway, so he asked me. This gentle spider asked me that he was watching me, and he loved the way I work, and so he came down to see me, but he said he can't come in the form, his real form, because if he came in his real form, I would be literally frightened to death. So he said he will come to me in the form that I would understand. And so he asked me if I would like to be his friend, and he said he would like to be my friend. And so they translated all that to me, and they said, "Well, you got time to think about it," and so I said, "Sure." I didn't know what I was getting myself into, but I said, "Oh, okay, sure, yeah, all right, And so he was all happy, and he around we're all sitting around that pit, and the soil is real soft. The dirt is real soft. So he got so excited because I said yes. So he came down and he started dancing around the pit there, and you can see where he was dancing because it just left a little puff of dirt around it, and everybody got to see that. And then he said he wants to see me on the hill at the next green grass, which means next year. And so I said, okay. I didn't know what that was, but I said, okay. And then they gave me I don't want to say prescriptions, but that's what it seems like, how to get prepared for that 1 year to go up on the Vision Quest hill, and he will come to see me. And he did. I was supposed to stand there one night, so they put me there at sundown, and they all left, and I was standing there, and I got all the four corners of the universe to go to pray and state my reasons why I'm there. And meanwhile, it was so dark I can't see nothing, so I got into this little lodge that they had there built for me, and so I sat down, and as soon as I sat in that little lodge, I heard a pebble hit the roof, and then it just went to the west, and it went north, and then I'm sitting there looking east, and you think if it came in front of me, because I heard it roll that way, I never saw it, but I heard it, and then it went to the south. So I was like kind of a little worried, and then I was supposed to go outside and go to all those corners to pray and state my reasons, so I had to go do that. Meanwhile, I had to have this chanupa stuck to my heart, and I can't put that down. So I crawled outside and went to this corner, and then I was standing there looking toward the west or east, and I saw the morning star. I don't know what time it was because it was really dark and just the stars. I had no full moon because everybody used up the full moon, so I went in the dark. And so I'm standing there with my sacred pipe, looking at that morning star, and it looked like it was going up and down like that. So I thought, no, that's not supposed to do that, and I'm looking at it, and next thing, it was getting bigger like that, and it was coming, and it's getting bigger, and it's dark, and it's coming, and now the mountain is like drop off like that, but it was coming like this at me. So, and my father taught me, he says, when you're scared of this spirits that come, point the chanupa at them and tell them you're scared, and they will respect that chanupa, that sacred pipe, and they will stay back. So I did that, and he came, and it was like a man standing in front of a wall, and you got the spotlight behind him, and you see the shadow, the outline of a man. That's what he looked like. There was no facial features, there was no shirt, pants, or nothing. It was just like that. But I held my chanupa like this, and I was following him, and I'm telling him I'm really scared. And he's a little further away from me, and I'm holding, and I'm going like this, and I keep going, and then pretty soon, by the time I came around, got to the north, and he started making his round like that to the east, and I looked, and then I just for just a split second, I looked away and it was gone, and the sun was coming up, and my father's truck was coming up the mountain, coming up the hill, because it was an old truck. So they're coming to get me, and that's how I got my friend Iktomi Wakwala. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, well. Oh. I guess got 3 more minutes, so I guess I can. Any questions? No, just kidding. so anyway, so they took me down to the lodge, and I had to go in the lodge and tell the people what I experienced and what I saw. And from then on, after that, my whole life, and looking at things and looking at people and looking at four-leggeds and winged creatures and fish people and all the living things, they start to look really different for me. And because they put something inside of me, and it made me learn a lot of compassion for all living things. Trees, plants, grass, everything has a spirit. And I learned that. So I thought, yeah, that's great. And, I used to see if they're living and they're good and everything, there's this thing around them, around the people, these colors. And one time my husband and I were at this metaphysical thing, and I keep telling him about this. I see all these colors around people and rabbits and everything, and he's like kind of not literally getting it until we went to that metaphysical place, and they had this screen and you can jump in front of it, and they had a camera, and they'll take your picture and they will show you your aura, I guess that's what they call it, the colors around you. And when I saw that, I said, that's what I'm talking about. So thanks. Thank you, guys. Thank you.